After a few years of rebuilding, the Montreal Canadiens have one of the deepest prospect pools in the entire National Hockey League. Every year, we get to brag about some of the guys who took multiple steps forward in terms of development, but every year there's also a couple of disappointments. Philip. Just kidding. Kind of. And sometimes it's not even about the points. Sometimes the player just simply doesn't meet our expectations. And for many Habs fans last season, one player that seemed to take sort of a sideways development path was none other than Joshua Wawa. You see, our boy Wawa, he finished up last season with the Laval Rocket, putting up a grand total of 35 points in 47 games, which on the surface, of course, doesn't really sound like too bad of a season, especially when you take into consideration some of his work during the playoffs. But the reality is, fans, they expected more. A lot of fans, myself included, thought that he was possibly going to be playing in the NHL last season, but the reality is, whenever this guy was called upon by the Montreal Canadiens, he didn't give him any reason to keep him up there. It was disappointing. And to make matters worse, over the course of the offseason, there hasn't really been a whole lot of information on him. I didn't know what he was doing. At one point, I thought he was working at Wendy's. However, I'm happy to inform you that an article has surfaced this morning that I want to bring to your attention. Because believe it or not, Joshua Wawa is now in the best shape of his life. In fact, this young man is turning into a monster. He's lost 15 pounds. He's packed on a shit ton of muscle. And he's been training like a madman over the past couple of months with John Chainberg. Yes, the same John Chainberg who's done a lot of work with George St. Pierre. Now, I'm going to leave the link to this article that was written by Nicolas Cloutier in the comments section. But Chainberg said when Wawa showed up, he didn't really know what to expect. The guy wasn't in the greatest of shape. He couldn't do 3 pull-ups. But guess what? Now all of a sudden, he's got him doing pull-ups with 35 pounds of weight strapped to his body. Isn't that incredible? It's like he's got Cole Caulfield in a kangaroo pouch. Wawa feels great about it. Apparently, he's a lot quicker on skates right now. He seems to have taken this offseason very seriously. And count me in as somebody that's proud of him, because he's been getting a bit of a bad rap from the media over the past couple of years. But I'm just hoping that he's going to show up at camp this year and just crush it. Wawa would even admit that this upcoming season is probably the most important season of his career. He's 22 years old right now. He knows if he wants to make the show, he's going to have to force himself into that lineup. So this is yet another player that I would really keep an eye on at camp if I were you. And of course, with guys like Christian Dvorak and Mario Armia now out of the picture, who knows? Maybe Wawa shows up and just forces himself into this lineup. It's an encouraging development. But that's going to do it for this quick little video. I haven't heard anything at all about this kid over the summer. I was even starting to get a little paranoid, especially when I noticed he wasn't at Brassard with some of the boys. But let me tell you something. After looking at this transformation, I don't care what anyone says. This kid seems more determined than ever. Now, before you leave here, please don't forget to give that like button a stone cold stunner on your way out. And hey, see you next time.